Can't wait for class.
I can't wait for class. Oh, it's gonna be so fun today.
Class, so after watching this video of Isaac's group's facilitation of a Unit 1784 class about honors housing and simulation, what are your initial thoughts? You don't all have to raise your hand, just have a conversation.
Well, I personally felt like the personality cards were a little too much. They were definitely like funny, but it took away from the overall presentation.
I was thinking the same thing. I think they were a really good way to get the class engaged. I think people really liked them, but at the same time, I think that we got the temperature to a good point after we introduced what we were going to be doing and told them about the personality cards, but then we brought out some cards that were probably pushing the boundaries a little bit too much. We probably should have used just a little bit more judgment in thinking of how we wanted to use them, and that actually brought the temperature down a little bit from where we wanted it to be for our facilitation.
Yeah, I think Isaac's group could have played less on extremes, even though there are situations like that, definitely like that in first year honors housing. Maybe that some of those situations aren't realistic or as many.
So why is a topic that this group picked important in terms of a learning outcome for a freshman honors Unit 1784 course?
I think oftentimes people come out of their first year or their first semester and they just really don't know who they do want to room with next year. They have some friends, but not someone who's like a best friend they really want to room with. So this could be a very applicable situation where someone might need to start over and find a new roommate in this kind of situation.
Not only that, I think each individual sophomore honors housing option like offers different things. Like H2O gives you like the community again versus like snow is a suite. So like there's definitely that aspect in there that helps like students decide what they really want.
I think that one place this group actually could have improved is that in their facilitation guide, they sort of talked about the negatives of living in Buckley Shippey, and that's not totally, I think, what they intended. They were more sort of seeing it as a learning opportunity. So what did they like in Buckley Shippey? Was it that learning environment learning community environment that they would get in H2O or Brock, or was it more of the independence and living in a group of people like on a nice floor in snow where they could live in a suite? And so maybe that was just something that needed to be tinkered with a little bit in the actual facilitation plan from this group.
And how has the material covered in our eGen class helped you in your development of the facilitation plan, or helped them in their development of the facilitation plan?
So I think Bloom's taxonomy was definitely used, especially you can see in their facilitation guide they had understand, apply, and analyze. So it was just like the increasing cognitive complexity with the different levels, which I think was helpful for this sort of group because this is all like soon to be facilitators, so they are trying to figure out how to put it into practice. So an example is good. Also, I noticed they used the Bowman's 4 C's and just focused on like concrete practice, which makes sense because it's the most interactive and just the most helpful again for learning purposes.
I agree with that. I feel like Bowman's 4 C's is like the basis of most like facilitation plans. So like that was definitely probably the biggest factor that they used in their presentation.
Absolutely.
One area of improvement I would say is the last C. They could have done a little bit more reflection. So the concluding aspect of it, I think that could have been more expanded.
Yeah, I think that's a good opportunity for them to really dig into the material and see what did students really take away from it, on top of having the fun opportunity to act out these personality cards. Like, how are they going to be able to take what they learned and apply it to their futures as honors students?
Yeah, that's extremely important. I agree. And what do you think that they hoped that their colleagues learned from the facilitation plan that you all got? And how do you think, or do you think, that their facilitation performance met those goals and actually communicated what they were trying to communicate?
I think that this facilitation plan would be carried out maybe like midway through the semester or something, and a lot of freshmen have issues with their roommates, so I think that Isaac's group hoped that they would learn how to deal with the current issues that they're having so they don't have to go to extremes such as moving out, but even if that had to happen, also just how to prevent it from escalating to such a great scale if they were stuck with a new roommate. What do you guys think?
I definitely agree with that. I think also me personally, like having that in UNIF was super helpful because I didn't know which honors housing option I wanted. So I think this definitely like opens that up for students and gives them an opportunity to discuss it and learn about it with other students in class.
I think one area that could have been improved was talking about some things that are maybe not as common, like gender neutral housing or housing for differently abled students in honors. the actual facilitation plan.
Yeah, I think that it would have been really interesting to learn a little bit more about that, and I think that as an honors community, we always have room to grow to see how can we be more inclusive of everybody. So that's just a good step for our future.
And then, is there any evidence that you have or that maybe this group could have to support their own assessment of what their audience was learning from their facilitation?
I think when they all came together and they explained in their reflection why they chose to be roommates together, like what specific aspects of their personality cards corresponded with one another, I thought that was very helpful.
Yeah.
I don't think it was explicitly stated. I think maybe if a question could like kind of make the connection a little bit more obvious to what they were simulating versus what they're actually going through, that probably would have strengthened the assessment of the audience's level of learning. But again, I think that's just a tweak that could be made.
And in hindsight, is there anything that if you were going to carry this out, would you do differently? Just this facilitation guide in general, and then executing that part of the facilitation guide.
I think towards the end, this group gave groups a little bit too much time to share what their plans were for next year. So maybe just cut down on that a little bit and spend some more time on the conclusion like we talked about. But overall, I thought they really did a good job. It seemed like a very engaging class. It seemed like the students were very engaged and took a lot out of it.
And then, how do you think that those changes would improve the student learning?
I think it would just make it more obvious what they've learned and emphasize to them that they can take the compromises that they talked about into their real lives and apply it that way.